Alright, this is a video response to where's the vector. All you gotta do is type vector into Google and you'll come up and choose the first website. It will come up with exactly what you need. Trust me on this one. Now, I see you have problems with Adobe, so you don't necessarily have to use Adobe. You can scroll down to the bottom of this page and there's a list of all different vector graphics editors. As you can see, there's freeware, there's commercialware, there's all kinds of stuff that I don't even know the name for. There's Fireworks, there's all your Adobe programs there, and also at the bottom there's a list of raster graphics editors that you can choose from, which is all your pixel programs such as Photoshop. Okay, because I'm cheap and I don't want to buy Photoshop just to do this video, I'm going to choose Inkscape. Now it's vector graphics, so basically this is kind of what you want. It's freeware, it's open source, it's developed for Linux, and you can download it for free. It doesn't run on a Mac though, so if you're on a Mac, that's just too bad. Right, all you gotta do is select downloads on the side menu and download it. You can choose the Linux Auto package or the Windows EXE installer. Once installed, it'll be in the Start menu if you want to run Windows, or your Accessories menu if you want to run Linux. Right. If you open it, it looks like CorelDRAW basically. I'm not sure if you've ever used CorelDRAW, but I have. It's crap. Don't get it. Don't even consider it. But it does look like CorelDRAW. The tool that you'll probably be using to draw your comics is called the calligraphy tool. Now, normally a calligraphy tool looks like calligraphy, and you don't want that. You want to have the cartoony feel. That's why you got to set fixation at 0. Basically, it follows the line instead of creating that calligraphy look. You can set your stylus to pressure sensitive and angle sensitive to do all sorts of different stuff. Now, if you have to kind of install it first by selecting input devices. Of course, I don't have a touch screen, and so I can't do that. Now, I'm going to draw a line here, and as you can see, it doesn't have a point anywhere, and it looks a bit jagged a bit, because I didn't draw it fast enough, and it's not pressure sensitive, so as soon as you lift it off, it'll draw a point at the end, right? But it doesn't work for me. So I have to use the arrow keys a bit, like this. Also, you can see how I've just demonstrated fixation, and you can see how it looks calligraphy, and then the other just looks like a fat sausage, a piece of crap. Right, it's definitely vector. I've checked it. You can move everything around. You can just select it, and you can change all the points around as well. It's all math. It's all your points. It's all whatever you need. Right. Okay, so it's just a little bit different to your Adobe programs, because instead the Adobe programs have just one line and its vector is its width, whereas this has two lines and it fills them in between. Okay, the next bit is I'm going to change the color to white. Right, I kind of don't know how to do this, so I'll have to have a couple of tries or whatever. But okay, right. I think you go into Inkscape Preferences and go into the calligraphy menu and choose your last used style. And and your other problem in Adobe Flash is probably your width is an absolute unit. So basically, that's probably your problem. That's probably your problem in Adobe Flash. So that's probably all you have to do, and it'll fix it. Something like that. Right. The next thing you do, you see I'm drawing a white line, and if you wanted to use Adobe Illustrator, you could just draw a line the color of the background, and it looks like it's erasing it, but it isn't. Also, there is a cut tool. I'm sure of it. I'm actually not sure, but I saw it somewhere, I think, and basically that cuts your line in half or whatever, and you can move the line elsewhere. Of course, I don't know where that is, so that's basically your erase tool, or erase alternative. Right. The next thing I'm going to show you is absolute width. Is also your Adobe Flash, which is your Adobe Flash problem. is that when you zoom in, it's got the same width compared to the screen. Right now, if you look, right, I'm drawing two lines of the same size, and I zoom in, I draw one, and I haven't changed the width at all, and it's half the size, and that's your Adobe problem. The easy fix for this is to go into your settings or whatever, and change absolute width. Right. Now, if you've ever seen absolute width anywhere, you could obviously change it. I don't expect you to use this program at all. I'm just showing it to you for different alternatives. And also because I'm cheap and I don't want to buy it. Okay. This is with absolute width. So, without absolute... I can't remember. Okay, so, anyway, this is showing you what absolute width actually does. Now you can see this is my line, I've just drawn it, and I draw the same line, and I haven't changed the thickness, and it still stays the same thickness no matter what zoom. Now you saw previously that before I changed the setting, the width changed if I zoomed in or out. Okay, one of the last things I'm going to show you is that it is vector, and I'm pretty sure of it because no matter how far you zoom in, it doesn't have any pixels. Alright, also it's got anti-aliasing, as you can see, and one more thing. Last thing before I end this video is that everything that you'll ever save in vector will be in a format called SVG, which means Scalable Vector Graphics. It may not be compatible with certain websites, and you might have to have